Facing Yeon-Myeong, Joan's expression hardened, his tone cutting as he issued a pointed remark. His words carried both a challenge and a rebuke, his stance embodying the weight of his reputation as a master of Shaolin. Without hesitation, he began preparing his technique, the air around him shifting as he summoned his inner strength. From the sidelines, the murmurs of the onlookers grew louder, their voices tinged with awe and apprehension. Among them, a few recognized the technique Joan was preparing to unleash. It was none other than the fabled indestructible Vajrabadi, a pinnacle of Shaolin martial arts, revered for its impenetrable defense and overwhelming power. Yet, as more discerning observers noted, this was no ordinary rendition of the indestructible Vajrabadi. The energy Joan radiated bore traces of the ultimate form perfected by the legendary first Shaolin founder, a martial artist whose undefeated legacy had etched his name into the annals of history. The realization sent ripples of amazement through the crowd, heightening the stakes of the duel. With a calm yet unyielding expression, Joan enveloped his entire body in a radiant aura, a manifestation of his mastery over the indestructible Vajrabadi. The technique radiated an unbreakable force, a shield that seemed to defy even the possibility of defeat. His voice, firm and resolute, cut through the tense air. "Do you think this old monk would succumb to your poison?" Joan's challenge hung in the air, his words a declaration of his confidence and the strength of his will. The spectators watched with bated breath as Joan's intense aura continued to surge, enveloping his form in an almost impenetrable barrier. The sheer force of the indestructible Vajrabadi was a testament to centuries of Shaolin mastery, and its presence in the arena left no doubt of its formidable power. Whispers rippled through the crowd, voices filled with awe and disbelief. Even with the title of the Venomous Sword Dragon, penetrating the true indestructible Vajrabadi is impossible, one observer murmured, his voice hushed but filled with conviction. Another voice followed, louder and more certain. "This is nothing short of a declaration for you to surrender the leadership." The words hung in the air, a challenge not just to Yeon-Myeong's strength, but to his very claim to the righteous Heaven Alliance. The atmosphere grew heavier with each passing moment, the weight of expectation pressing down on both combatants. The atmosphere was tense as the plans for the Alliance's future began to take shape. Tang Yeon-Myeong's disbelief was evident, his expression a mix of shock and reluctant intrigue. The proposed location for the new headquarters was none other than Mt. Cheongseong, a site steeped in both opportunity and controversy. The mountain, now devoid of its former occupants after the fall of the Black Death Alliance, stood as an imposing but unclaimed landmark. It was a place of strategic value, its elevated terrain providing both natural defenses and a commanding view of the surrounding regions. For Yeon-Myeong, the decision seemed obvious. The vacant land offered not only practicality but also a symbolic reclamation of a tainted legacy. Tang Yeon-Myeong, though skeptical, could not deny the logic behind the choice. The potential to establish dominance over the area by securing the mountain and its surrounding lands was a prospect difficult to ignore. With the Black Death Alliance defeated, the territory was ripe for acquisition, a blank slate ready to be transformed into the nerve center of their new coalition. The prospect of purchasing the adjacent lands to solidify their hold loomed as a logical next step. Such a move would ensure the Alliance's influence extended beyond the mountain, creating a buffer and securing their foothold. It was a bold vision, one that required careful planning and significant resources, but the opportunity was undeniable. The room buzzed with an air of determination as discussions about the Alliance's future plans unfolded. Suddenly, the door swung open with a force that broke the flow of conversation. Mak In-cheol, the skilled blacksmith renowned for his craft, entered with an urgency that drew all eyes to him. His face was flushed with excitement, and he carried a wooden box clasped tightly in his hands. Yeon-Myeong, momentarily taken aback by the unexpected interruption, turned toward the blacksmith. The weight of the moment hung in the air as Mak In-cheol approached, his steps quick and purposeful. Without hesitation, he placed the box on the table, his enthusiasm practically radiating as he opened it to reveal its contents. Inside the box lay a dagger unlike any other. The blade shimmered with a radiant luster, its polished surface catching and refracting the light in a way that seemed almost ethereal. The weapon exuded a sharp, cold aura, as if forged from the frost of the highest peaks. Its design was impeccable, every detail a testament to the blacksmith's unmatched skill. The sight of the blade drew an audible reaction from those in the room. Chang-sik leaned in, his curiosity piqued by the remarkable craftsmanship. Tang Yeon-Myeong, ever the discerning observer, noted the dagger's brilliance, marveling at the way it gleamed like freshly fallen snow under the sun. Yeon-Myeong's gaze lingered on the weapon, his calm demeanor masking the intrigue he felt. He inquired about its name, knowing full well that a weapon of such quality would bear a title befitting its magnificence. Mak Incheol, unable to contain his pride, explained the inspiration behind the name. The dagger's gleaming white brilliance and the icy aura it emanated reminded him of something both beautiful and deadly. He had named it the White Snow Dragon Fong, a title as evocative as the weapon itself. Yeon-Myeong, with a calm yet deliberate motion, revealed a dagger from beneath his garments. The blade gleamed faintly in the light, its sharp edge a stark contrast to the overwhelming presence of his opponent. A wave of incredulous murmurs rippled through the spectators. The sheer audacity of attempting to confront Jaeun, renowned for his true indestructible Vajra body, with a mere dagger left them stunned. To many, the idea bordered on madness. Jaeun, his towering figure exuding power, was incensed by the perceived insult. His fury manifested as a burst of energy that rippled outward, a testament to his unparalleled mastery. To him, Yeon-Myeong's choice of weapon was not a display of confidence but a brazen act of defiance, one he intended to quash decisively. Without hesitation, Jaeun lunged forward, his movements swift and precise. The air itself seemed to crackle as his attack connected with Yeon-Myeong's defense, the resulting impact sending shockwaves that rippled far beyond the confines of the sparring arena. The force was staggering, a physical testament to Jaeun's dominance. The ground trembled, and the sheer intensity of the clash left the onlookers awestruck. From the sidelines, gasps of disbelief echoed among the crowd. Even the seasoned warriors among them could not mask their astonishment. Jaeun's fist techniques, honed to near perfection, generated a power so immense that it seemed insurmountable. His mastery of the fire realm imbued his strikes with an overwhelming force that few could hope to endure unscathed. As the dust settled, a hush fell over the arena. The previously roaring crowd was now frozen in stunned silence, their eyes fixed on the scene before them. Jaeun stood motionless, his face betraying a rare and profound disbelief. His gaze fell on Yeon-Myeong, who remained unscathed, standing with an effortless calm that contrasted sharply with the ferocity of the earlier clash. The overwhelming attack, which had sent shockwaves across the arena, had been blocked without so much as a hint of strain. Jaeun's fists, imbued with the indomitable energy of his martial prowess, had met an immovable wall. Yeon-Myeong, unperturbed by the chaos around him, regarded Jaeun's technique with a thoughtful precision. The energy emanating from Jaeun's fists had a distinct aura, one that bore the unmistakable mark of Shaolin's famed inner strength. It carried a subtle auspiciousness, a disciplined and refined essence that distinguished it from other forms of martial energy. Yet, even this legendary force failed to faze him. With a swift and precise motion, Yeon-Myeong deflected Jaeun's next strike. The force of the counter sent ripples through the air, unraveling the energy surrounding Jaeun's fists with a fluid elegance. Jaeun staggered slightly, his mind reeling as he felt the energy in his hands dissipate. The intricate layers of power he had infused into his attack, honed through years of rigorous training, seemed to crumble into nothingness. The realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. His once unshakable might was being systematically dismantled before his eyes. The crowd watched in awe as Jaeun's confidence faltered, replaced by the dawning awareness that he faced an opponent whose strength and understanding exceeded anything he had ever encountered. As Yeon-Myeong effortlessly deflected Jaeun's strikes, his mind wandered briefly to the wisdom he had once absorbed from the Tang family records. Those ancient tomes, filled with meticulous insights into countless martial arts sects, had provided him with a crucial understanding of Shaolin's techniques. The books described Shaolin martial arts as a discipline rooted in the seamless flow of inner energy, a system built upon harmony and fluidity. Its power stemmed from the uninterrupted circulation of energy through precise and practiced channels. To challenge such techniques head-on would be a folly for most, as the foundation of their strength was nearly impenetrable. However, Yeon-Myeong had learned of a critical vulnerability buried within their principles. The Tang family records had detailed a strategy for dismantling the seemingly invincible arts of Shaolin. Disrupt the smooth flow of energy, and their techniques would falter. Recalling those lessons, Yeon-Myeong applied them with precision, targeting the delicate balance that sustained Jones' strikes. By creating subtle yet deliberate disruptions in the flow of energy, he unraveled the intricate foundation of the Shaolin techniques. Jones' immense power, which had seemed unstoppable moments before, began to crumble under the weight of Yeon-Myeong's calculated counters. Seizing the moment as Jones' defenses crumbled, Yeon-Myeong pressed his advantage without hesitation. His movements were a blur of precision and speed, the blade in his hand slicing through the air with lethal intent. In a seamless flurry of strikes, he unleashed a series of calculated slashes, each one aimed to overwhelm and neutralize his opponent. Jones struggled to keep up, his earlier confidence shattered under the relentless assault. Every attempt to recover was met with another deft strike, each swing of Yeon-Myeong's blade forcing him further into retreat. The once mighty master, renowned for his indomitable strength, now found himself overpowered and outmatched. Finally, his strength spent and his will broken, Jones collapsed to his knees. His shoulders sagged with exhaustion, and his pride lay in tatters. His voice, heavy with resignation, acknowledged the truth that could no longer be denied. His defeat was absolute, and in that moment, the arena bore witness to Yeon-Myeong's undeniable prowess. A warrior whose skill transcended mere strength, a force capable of toppling even the mightiest of foes. The crowd erupted in a cacophony of disbelief, their voices a blend of astonishment and confusion as they processed the outcome of the brief yet decisive battle. The image of Yeon-Myeong standing victorious, armed only with a dagger, against the might of the true indestructible Vajrabhati, was a sight none had expected to witness. Among the spectators, some could scarcely believe their eyes. The legendary Shaolin technique, a hallmark of unyielding strength and invulnerability, had been effortlessly dismantled. Whispers spread like wildfire, incredulity coloring every word. The tale of the young lord who had vanquished the leader of the Black Death Alliance now seemed far more plausible, his prowess no longer just a rumor but an undeniable reality. Yet, amidst the murmurs of awe and astonishment, a single figure in the crowd stood apart, his expression clouded with uncertainty. His gaze fixed on Yeon-Myeong's movements, replaying the flashes of skill and precision that had unfolded moments earlier. There was no mistaking it. Those techniques, the seamless fluidity of the strikes, the sharp, decisive intent, they bore an uncanny resemblance to the infamous style of the sword demon. Confusion and unease crept into the man's thoughts. How could the young lord of the Tang family, known for their distinguished martial traditions, wield techniques that carried the unmistakable signature of one of the martial world's most feared figures?